Hello and welcome to this video, which is a Romecraft video. Today this is all about guilds, so it's a guilds explained sort of thing. Okay, let's get started with the basics. The guilds, which are in the sort of like lower class slummy district of Minecraft world that we have, is going to be based entirely upon user input along with administrators. So they won't always be open to people. They may be closed on a regular basis. If this is the case, then sorry, we didn't mean to. We'll try and get it fixed up as soon as possible. Okay, anyway, let's get started. Now, we have multiple guilds, and I'm going to start with the one that most of you are going to use, which will be the Hunters Guild. Now, the Hunters Guild is pretty much self-explanatory. Explanatory. Sound like an American then. Self-explanatory. You pretty much go hunt mobs. You hunt them on. You get paid for its death. That's how it works. You bring back it from the mob, and we'll pay you in money for it. Now, the idea is that different mobs will be worth different things, and if I'm just going to get up the little list of things. Okay, so here we got it. I got the pricing right here. Okay, so let's see. At the moment, the payments go like this. Spider eyes you can sell for 3 gold. String is for 5. Gunpowder is for 7. You won't be allowed to buy gunpowder. Rotten flesh will be able to be sold off for 2. Our vendor will be sold off for 30. Any nether items will be sellable also for 30. However, we will need information as to where your portal is, so we can make sure that it is fully secured. I can't just remember what are the other pricing. So okay, so that's them items. We're going to go into the main ideas behind the other features that your Hunters Guild will have. Now, the Hunters Guild will be mainly predominantly based around the idea, like we said like a minute ago, of hunting down mobs. However, it will also be about making the decision between crafting the item into something, using it yourself, and selling it instantly. For example, certain items will be much better once you've crafted them. For example, TNT will catch a lot more than the sum bits parts, so we'll pay less for the gunpowder and the sand than we will for the TNT block, because we will pay a fortune for TNT blocks, because we want to keep them out of the game. We don't want any damage being done to the server. So just remember that we will pay you a blinking fortune for certain blocks, and other blocks, however, will pay you almost nothing for. Okay, so more things about the other guilds. Let's go into the Alchemists Guild. Now, the Alchemists Guild is a guild which has more features, but you probably will use them less. The Alchemists Guild will be giving you options on buying and selling different brewing tools that could be really, really useful. So, for example, you may not be able to go into the nether and get yourself a blaze rod very easily. That would be perfectly normal. Most people wouldn't be able to go get themselves a blaze rod easily normally, let alone in our server, where we try and reduce the amount of people who get access to the nether, because we don't, of course, like people to be messing around in that place. So yeah, blaze rods will be difficult for you to get, so we can sell you off from this location. We will make it possible, as it were, for you to access a brewing stand, whether or not that's free, or maybe you have to pay a premium on that, we're not sure. Maybe like a rent or something, but you must remember you'd be using it with other people. So if you wanted to use it privately, you could rent one, or you could buy one. Of course, if you rent one, if you don't give it back, we'll be over there taking it away from you and taking other items of yours, because it will be effectively classed as stealing. And of course, that's bad in our world. You'd also be able to buy ingredients for potions. For example, I'm going to relate to the nether again. A nether wart is a very, very valuable material, especially in brewing. It's very useful. So if you get us some nether wart, then we can pay a good price for it. Brewing items are bought from the alchemists and sold to the alchemists, though you may wish to sell them to the Hunters Guild, but the Hunters Guild will probably pay you less for items that are useful in brewing than they will items if the alchemy bought them. So yeah, be careful with who you sell your goods to. Also, the alchemist will be able to give you offers on different materials. For example, the alchemist may be selling you a type of potion for cheap, or he might tell you how to make a potion, or send you a JPEG or something that shows you how to make a potion. I don't know, but it's up to them really how they're going to do that. They might end up giving you offers on buying off different designs and things, different potions. They will probably give you offers on a regular basis on buying bottles, etc. for cheap. They will always have water available for you to refill bottles. Hopefully they'll see if they can keep that so you don't have to go out there and refill it out of our nice water. So you need to be careful with that. So the Alchemist Guild has got quite a lot of features to it. It will have more features. They will pay handsomely for people who can make splash potions that deal debuffs and damage, obviously, because that's what splash potions do. If you can make potions that do that for them, they can hire you, and you will then technically no longer be a civilian, so you'll be working for the army. So barbarians will be allowed to kill you, not barbarians, what do you call them? Bandits, that's the one. Bandits will now be allowed to kill you, because you're no longer civilian, though they can kill civilians if they want to. Just so you know, don't say rage quit on us or something. Okay, so that's pretty much the Alchemist Guild so far. We're going to go on to the Mining Guild. Now, the Mining Guild is an incredibly important guild for a lot of people, especially if you're the sort of person who's living in the outlying villages rather than Rome itself. Almost every village is going to have its own version of a couple of these guilds, namely the Miners Guild and the Hunters Guild. These are probably the two most important guilds actually in the game, so they are very, very important to us. So we're gonna make sure we get those in every other major town or village or whatever. We'll have them on regular basis in different locations. Okay, now the Mining Guild is mainly based around the idea of selling ores and blocks and ingots and things that you dug up. So for example, the Mining Guild is the only place that will actually pay you for cobblestone, except perhaps a brick mason if no one's selling to the Mining Guild at the time, or the Mining Guild is charging him way too much. Block mason, sorry, stone mason, that's the one. So they may buy them off you, but other than that, yeah, Mining Guild is pretty much the only place that will ever pay for cobblestone, which is probably a very lucrative business, though it may only end up being one or it could be between half a gold to 3 or 4 gold for one piece of cobblestone. However, if you ever are seen taking cobblestone from buildings, walls, or other players, you will be in trouble. Remember that if anyone dies and you loot their gear, that's perfectly fine, but do remember that they can then do it to you, and you will be put on a list of people who looted from somebody, and that person will be given access to that list. Everyone will be given access to that list, so be very careful with what you do in the looting department. Anywho, right, the mining guild will pay handsomely for things like gold, because whilst gold is useless to players, it is useful for us, for decoration, and of course gold ingots are the basis of the economy, unless of course we can get like a good plug-in, or like I said in previous videos, if modifications come in that allow us to do that without you guys having to have it on single player, so we can have SMP mods without actually you guys having to have them as well. So we'll be able to keep track of things through the mining guild, and of course clay, which will be bought from by the mining guild, may not exactly sell the best at the mining guild. You may get a better offer from the brickmason, although you may get a better offer in town. You never know. That's why you're going to have to shop around a lot. You can't just rely on the guilds for your basic income. But when you first arrive and you don't know what association is paying how much for certain objects, then at that point, yeah, it would be a good idea to rely on guilds for your income. Because to be perfectly honest, no one wants to pay a failure. So you've got to be very careful with how you use the guilds, and there is another guild, if I can just remember what it is. Ah, yes, okay, now I remember, it is the Farmers Guild. This place will be giving a lot of assistance on how to crops, what crops to grow, what crops are earning the most money right now, where the best farming locations could be, where you can set up for yourself, where you can get our information, and also there'll be a great place to buy livestock, because they may give you spawn eggs, which you will be allowed to use to spawn in an animal. So the Farmers Guild will be a very important part for people who want to go into that aspect of the server's features. Remember that the server will be up as much as we can, but we can't promise it will always be up. Certain objects will be more expensive, of course. For example, wheat seeds will cost almost nothing, whilst a pumpkin seed or even a melon seed will cost an absolute fortune. Note that if anyone is ever found to have destroyed a pumpkin and then replanted it, they will be in massive trouble and may have features taken away from them, so be careful with that. There will also be massive restrictions on how many crops one person may grow at a time. We don't want to cause mass domination of the markets here, so anyone that is seen to be exploiting other people's uses of materials and land or anything like that, you're going to be in trouble, okay? So don't exploit others. Remember that anyone can get seeds just by going and punching like random grass. It's not difficult to get seeds. So conning, stealing land, etc. will not be allowed. And farming other people's crops for them is only allowed if you're being paid to do it. If you don't get paid, it's technically unpaid labor, it's therefore illegal. However, if you really want to do it, you can, but it is illegal, and if someone's getting you to do it free, you don't want to be doing it for free, and they're saying that you have to, they're wrong. Don't listen to them, report them to the nearest administrator. They will be banned, or kicked, or something. They will be punished, to say the least. Just to make sure that there is none of that cheating. We don't want any of that. We want the server to be fun for everyone. We don't want anyone to be exploited. Anyway, more on the farms. So the farming guild will be, of course, a very reliable place, because whilst all the guilds are a place for expertise to come in, give you a hand, and for administrators to give you a bit of a leg up, as it were, there will also be other players there. That's the plan, anyway. It will be, if you work and in that area, and if you work in that area, and you have information you can share with people, we will have, the area will be open to you, open for you to use, and you'll be able to do what you want. You'll be able to help others, and that's the main objective, is to have it as a congregation and meeting place as well, as just being a place where you can get stuff from the professionals and the guys who work for the server. So that's pretty much the basics of the guilds. Once we go in more depth, I'll give you full pricing when we've got that conducted, and hopefully we'll be able to give you a bit more assistance on Romecraft. Thank you.